All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a story that came out a few days ago. And the story is about this guy who's a former trooper by the name of Austin Lee Edwards. Now, again, to give you a recap, the story is that he catfished a teen on a website. All right. Fake profile, I guess fake age and all this stuff. However, he promoted himself on this website to this young lady, and that's what he did. He chose to travel from Virginia all the way to, I believe they say some part of California. I can't remember exactly where in California, but as a matter of fact, let me make sure. Yeah, California. Yes, it's California. I got it right. Okay. He traveled all the way from Virginia to California to meet up with this young lady, which I believe that was 15 years old. He gets there, he parks his car in the neighbor's driveway, and he goes and kills this young lady's family. Kidnapped or abducted the young lady, and ended up getting caught and had a shootout with the police. So they say he had a shootout with the police, and he has lost his life. All right. Fortunately, the young lady survived, but however, though, her family has passed away or whatnot. So now what we're about to listen to now is the young lady has came out and spoken about the incident. And I want y'all to hear this if you haven't already. And I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts on how y'all feel about what are y'all gonna hear. Okay? And, let's get right into it and let's see what she has to say about all this.
Case that left 4 people dead, including the suspect.
Investigators say the sheriff's deputy met that teenage girl online and traveled to California from Virginia. Family members are speaking now. Let's listen in.
Good morning, and thank you for everyone for being here today. My family and I truly appreciate the love and the compassion that we have received thus far in this trying time. To our neighbors, our friends, and our family members, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the outpouring of well wishes. We have heard all of you, and we appreciate you more than you will ever know. Nobody could imagine this crime happening.
Oh, correction. This may not be her, because it's saying down here the sister and the daughter of victims. So this may not be the actual girl that got kidnapped or whatever they say. But let's go.
Happening to my family, to our family. Especially it just being one day after Thanksgiving. It was just a few days ago that we all celebrated together.
What the hell? What the hell? Man, come on now. What the hell? Oh, God. Now I got to wait for it. Oh, Jesus Christ. My bad, y'all. My bad. And then this thing over here messing up and it ain't making it no better. Wait a minute, this ain't even it no more. What the hell?
A teenage girl he met online. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in Riverside with more for us. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. We're learning a little bit more about what this violent predator did.
That's not even it no more. They done changed it. That's probably why it did what it did. Because that's not even it no more. Y'all see this shit? I had this thing prepared since last night. We figured out to hear what the young lady had to say, and now they gonna pop up this other shit. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can go find it. Let me see if I can find it. Don't look like. Hold on, y'all. Let's see what this is right here. I think this may be a little piece of it. Hold on.
The investigation continues into the tragic murder of the grandparents and mother of a 15-year-old who cops say was catfished by a police officer pretending to be a teenager. Today, grieving family members broke their silence, delivering a desperate plea. They say, know what your kids are doing online.
Heartbreak and horror for the family in the Catfish triple murder case.
Nobody could imagine this crime happening to my family, to our family. Especially it just being one day after Thanksgiving.
Fighting back tears, Michelle Blandon spoke today about the shocking crime committed by a former Virginia state trooper. She lost her parents and her sister.
Austin Lee Edwards.
This is footage of Officer Austin Lee Edwards graduating from the Virginia State Police Academy earlier this year. Cops say the predator drove 2,500 miles to Riverside, California to meet up with the 15-year-old girl he'd lured into an online relationship by posing as a 17-year-old. An alert neighbor saw his red Kia parked outside and the teen getting inside.
Was she kidnapped or abducted? We don't know that yet. We're still trying to determine, did she go voluntarily with them?
Cops found the bodies of the girl's grandparents and mother inside their home, which had been set on fire. A police chase ensued, and Edwards was killed in a shootout with cops. The teen was not injured.
This horrific event started with an inappropriate online romance between a predator and a child.
The grief-stricken family is pleading with the public to be vigilant about online activity and young people.
Catfishing led to the deaths of the three most important people in my life. Please, parents, guardians, when you are talking to your children about the dangers of their online actions, please use us as a reference.
Victim Mark Winnick was a beloved high school coach. Sherry Winnick was the family matriarch. And Brooke Winnick, a devoted and loving single mom. As for the officer accused of committing such a heinous crime,
it's disturbing. It's disgusting, really. How did this person get past a background investigation? How did this person get past a polygraph? This is yet another horrific reminder of the predators existing online.
The teen is in the care of Child Protective Services and has been too distraught to speak with investigators.
Okay, I stand corrected. It wasn't the actual teen. That was her sister. Okay, my bad. I thought it was actually her. All right, that came out and spoke. So I stand corrected on that. That was not the kidnapped teen. That was her sister that spoke. Okay. And God, I'm sorry this thing messing up. It's just messing up all over the place now, And I hate they did that because that was the full fucking interview. And now I can't even find it. Unless somebody can find it for me, I will appreciate it. And I'll probably do an upload later. But they just totally just switched that around like that. So they must just updated it the reason that it was showing it the way that it was. Okay? But however, though, before we get into some more of this, I want to show y'all something. A few things real quick. I took some screenshots of where I got this video from. And I want y'all to see some of the comments. Or read to you some of the comments that was made about this video. Well, now somebody just sent it to me, so we might pretty be able to hear the whole thing. Let's see. I don't know how good y'all can see this. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right. So here's one of the comments that caught my attention. And y'all need me to try to blow it up bigger. I'll try to go to another screen so y'all can see it bigger. All right. But this is one of the first comments that I saw. This person right here said, did she go voluntarily with him? This person said, no, if you knew half as much as I know, officer, you would know the police because she looked as distressed as he was putting her in the car after killing 3 members of her family. That's what it's saying. All right. And the way this person talking, I'm guessing they were one of the ones who saw the events that took place. I don't know. All right. You see the first reply under this comment. And it says distressed because she probably helped him so. So sad. Then you got another one that came under here that said not help, but her talking to him led to their deaths. And let me see what this other one says. And this other person down here says, oh, I forgot I could do this. Okay. They says, I don't know who they saying they agree with. I guess they agree with the person right here. I don't know. But these two comments right here piqued my attention. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was first sent this about this young lady was speaking out or whatnot, I thought it was her, but I got it wrong. It's not her, all right? But however, though, I had said to myself, and somebody said this in my comment section of one of my videos, they said that pretty much this, could it be a possibility that this was set up? That she set this up for her parents to get killed or whatnot. I don't know. I tell y'all these stories. I mean, it don't hurt to look at all angles or whatever the case may be. Look at all angles, look at all corners or whatnot. So when I saw this right here, I said, well, I see other people probably thinking the same thing. Because we have heard a lot of stories that these teenagers, when they do meet these guys online or whatnot or whatever, they do set this stuff up for their parents to get killed. Now, I'm not saying that this young lady did this. I don't know if she did it or not. It was up to the investigators to make that discovery or whatnot, if she had this set up or not. Because somebody pointed out something, they said this was strange. Why would he come all the way down there, park his car with her to the neighbor's yard, and then just go kill her folks, but then kill her? That is a good question. Why did he do that? So, again, when I saw that, I said, these are interesting comments. All right. Let me see if I can find another one. Okay, why this thing go? This thing is acting all kind of weird. Let me see if I can find another one for y'all. This thing is not letting me do shit. Why it's not letting me drag it? Okay. It must not meant for me to stream because this thing ain't let me do nothing that I wanted to do. Okay, hold on. And it's moving really slow for some reason. This person says right here, she's going to have serious guilt for the rest of her life. Not to haul blame on her, but this is why you just don't give out personal info to people. Now, that part I do agree. Even if they're not the weirdo, someone else could come across it. That is true. This girl's going to grow up without parents and grandparents, and who knows how the rest of her family feels about this. I would like to know that too, how the rest of the family feel about this situation, you know. They might blame her since they can't blame the officer anymore. She's the only living conduit for grief and suffering. Well, that right there, I mean, regardless if the officer is ain't here or not no more, you know what I mean, he still did the dudes. I mean, just because he did don't mean he still can't get blamed for it. So that don't mean nothing because he did. I mean, he still did it regardless of what. So I don't agree with that, you know. But however, though, I do want to know if the parents do look at her and going to say, hey, you know, this is your fault, you know. So I am curious about that. I don't want to look at this. Let's see. What else can I pull up? This right here says, this person right here says, as awful as this is, I hope as the investigation continues that they don't uncover anything worse. This teenager must be devastated at the sheer loss of her loved ones. Now I want y'all to hear it again. As awful as this is, I hope as the investigation continues that they don't uncover anything worse. Now you see what I'm talking about? So they probably feeling some type of way too, like, hey, you know, there could be more going on to this story. They probably not necessarily say that the girl did anything either, but they say the same thing, you know, as this investigation continues, you know, I hope they don't find anything worse. And I'm wondering, is this person meaning the same thing too? Meaning that I hope they don't come out and say that this was all pre-planned. You know, and you got your sister up here all fucked up because what's going on. All right. Now, again, people, understand, I'm not saying she did anything. You know, she could be totally innocent at this whole thing. She was on the internet. She really thought she was talking to whoever this guy was that he claimed he was. And things just turned for the worse, you know. But still, I want y'all to keep in mind, though, and I forgot who pointed this out. I can't remember who pointed this out. But somebody said, why would he come there to kill her folks but did not kill her? That's pretty much like leaving a witness behind, you know? So, and I still believe that is a good damn question. Why did he do that? All right? Why? And whoever the person is that said that comment that I read to you earlier said, yeah, she probably looked distressed because she probably had something to do with it. I'm not mad at that comment, again, because it could be a possibility. You just never know with these stories. It could be a possibility. I hope not, but leave no stone unturned, all right? Leave no stone unturned. All right. And guys, if this thing, I'm pretty much sure it's still messing up because I'm looking over there and I'm seeing that it's skipping a lot. So when I get through with this, man, I'm gonna put up the clean version because I'm recording backup, and I don't know why this thing keep doing this. It works for a minute. I had like a good couple of streams, then go live one day, it just go all the shits. It just fuck up all over the place. He go to comment on top of right here. This comment right here said the same thing. Why kill the grandparents and the mother? Something feels off. May their souls rest in peace. Condolences to the family. All right. This comment is saying the same thing, but somebody had already said it before I even pulled up this comment. But this person said this. Why kill the grandparents and the mother? Something feels off. May their souls rest in peace. Condolences to the family. I don't have no problem with that comment because, again, you just never know what's going on with these stories. You just never know. Now, again, the young lady could be innocent, but I don't know. But I'm going to tell you one thing, though. When I first heard it, and I thought that was her, I was telling people, I don't think she's being 100 about this story. I don't. And that's how a lot of us get caught up in the story. When we first hear, we be all so upset, distraught, be like, dang, that's messed up, man. Nobody should be doing that, man. That's messed up that she went through that and this, that, and the third. But when people start pointing out stuff like this, I'm like, just what if? Just what if? Just what if? All right? So, Queen said that the parents had money. I don't know. Right on the league, yeah, they get a hold to the messages or whatnot, and maybe they can see. I don't know. Or maybe this dude have done this before, and he has gotten away with it. Who knows? But what pissed me off with a lot of stories like these is, like, if you go to the comment section where I got that video from, you see a lot of people be all over their feelings, po baby, and this, that, and the third. And I agree, because when you first hear it, that's the first thing come to your mind. Like, wow, sitting no teenager go through this and this, that, and the third. But see, this is why I told y'all when I did my first video, I'm not trying to beat her up at all. I'm not trying to beat her up. But you have to call it what it is. And like somebody said in the comments, I read early, her actions of what she did got her folks killed. All right? And that's not to beat her up. That's just factual. That's factual. Okay? They're just like me, 42 years old. I meet one of y'all off this YouTube thing, and I invite you to come to my house. All right? Don't know you from a can of paint, but I invite you to come to my house. And you come to my house, and you come shoot up everybody that's up in here. Yeah, I didn't think you was going to do it, but the fact that I invited an unknown person in my house that I don't know shit about other than what they told me on the internet. I don't know a damn thing about them. But they told me what they thought I wanted to hear on the internet. I fell for it. Brought them over to the house, and bam, they did the unthinkable. People going to say, you know, it may not be your intention for this to happen, Chris, but you got to be real. You inviting this stranger to your home caused this to happen. And it's not the fact that they trying to beat me up. It's the fact that they pointing out this. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. You brought this person to your home, and this what happened. All right? But I hope you get to justice, though. Because even though you invite this person to your home, doesn't mean they had the right to do it. Y'all follow me? Doesn't mean they had the right to do it. But you brought this person to your home. And you gave them your personal information for them to come to your home. All right? And see, that's the thing about stories like these. People don't want to speak stuff like that because that's actually true. They don't want to speak about that because that's actually true. That's true. You can't fight that. That is true. I can deny all I want to. But the story is, Chris, how did they get to your house? How did they have access to you? How did they have access to your family? I gave them my information. Okay. I mean, you did that. You did that. Okay? But they would probably shun me even harder because me being 42 and inviting strangers to my house I don't know nothing about, they probably say, well, you know, you grown, so you should have already known, which I can see their point too. You already know. You already knew. Okay? Now with her, yeah, they probably give her a pass for it, but me being grown, dude, you already know this, man. So I don't even know why you trying to fake the funk. And I can't get mad at them. I can't. But now they say right here that see, somebody sent me some messenger. They say this is a similar story. They tell me about a story that happened. Well, I didn't catch it because it just faded away from my screen. But somebody sent me something in messenger. Similar story. All right. Now, some people I saw in the comment section like, you know, do police do background checks? Well, they say right here that he passed his background checks. All right. He passed his background checks. Let's see what's going on.
He was a sheriff's deputy in Virginia, but he developed an inappropriate online relationship with a 15-year-old girl here in Riverside. Authorities say he drove across the country to meet her and then eventually murdered 3 members of his family. Now, this morning we heard from the girl's aunt, and she made a tearful statement.
Catfishing led to the deaths of the 3 most important people in my life. My dad, my mom, and my sister.
Michelle Blandon is talking about how a 28-year-old cop from Virginia named Austin Lee Edwards developed a fake online persona to contact her 15-year-old niece here in Riverside. He posed as a 17-year-old boy, and it developed into an inappropriate online romance. He drove across the country and on Friday showed up at the girl's house. Authorities say it's not clear if the girl willingly went with Edwards or whether she was coerced. But they say it is clear he killed the teen's grandparents and her mom, then set the house on fire to disguise the crime. A SWAT team shot and killed Edwards in a remote section of San Bernardino County and rescued the girl. Her 69-year-old grandfather, Mark Winnick, her grandmother, 65-year-old Sherry Winnick, and her mother, 38-year-old Brooke Winnick, were found dead inside the burning house. This morning, Michelle Blandon said it's hard for her to comprehend that Thanksgiving will be her last memory of her family alive, and the killer was a law enforcement officer.
This was an adult that traveled across the country to kidnap a 15-year-old girl, my niece, our family member, with the idea to kidnap her and kill and devastate our family. He took an oath to protect, and yet he failed to do so. Instead, he preyed on the most vulnerable.
Blandon says she hopes parents will use this horrific story as an example to teach children about the dangers of predators lurking online.
In this tragic moment of our family, our grief, we hope some good will come from this. Parents, please, please know your child's online activity. Ask questions about what they are doing and whom they are talking to. Anybody can say they're someone else.
Facts. Facts.
And you could be in this situation, which I do not want for the world.
Amen.
As for the 15-year-old girl, relatives say she's undergoing counseling and therapy. A family friend says it's going to take years to get over the trauma of what happened. She says this girl has a very long road ahead of her. We'll send it back to you.
All right. So I agree with what the aunt says. And again, God, let me correct that because I thought that was her, but that's her aunt. That's not her. That's her aunt. It's not her. And if you coming in, please hit the thumbs up. And guys, I don't know. YouTube just fucking up all my channels. Because usually I have more people up here than this, man. But lately, nobody ain't been getting my notification. Nobody ain't coming in. You know, so it's fucking frustrating. Then this damn software fucking up all over the place, man. That shit just frustrating. It is. But anyway, though, if you can, please hit the thumbs up as you come in. All right. So I agree with everything they done said, what little I did catch right there, or what little they did play. Now, I think somebody have sent me the whole thing, you know, and I'm see if I can play the whole thing, everything that she said, okay? But she's absolutely right. I've been saying that for the longest, and a lot of people saying that for the longest. Man, y'all watch y'all children on this internet shit, man. Don't be sitting up there asking what they doing. They talk about surfing the net. Then you walk off and go do something else, all right? Either they have gaming, they doing online gaming, chatting with people online gaming, man, watch that shit too. Watch that shit too. Cause I remember one time I bust out and I said something about I ain't never heard nothing going on in the gaming community, nothing bad, but somebody did come to come and say, nah, bruh, the gaming community just as bad too. I never heard nothing going on bad in the gaming community on YouTube, but hey, apparently that person must watch the gaming community and they said, hey, they just as worse. You know, so hey. Okay? But she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. So I can't do the but agree with her on that one. But Auntie, I got a question I want to ask you. If you so happen to run across this, I got a question I want to ask you. You know, there are people who's saying or making the suggestion that your niece could be a possibility had a part in this. My question to you is, do you think so too? Is there a part of you that's saying that, hey, she may have something to do with this? All right? And I'm noticing now, and I'm hoping y'all catching it too, they keep saying now, did she leave willingly or was she forced to leave with him? Y'all pick up them little subliminals they throwing up in there. We trying to find out now, did she leave willingly? Or was she forced to leave? Or was she coerced to leave? Okay? Now, was she coerced to leave? I probably can see that. I can see that. Okay? But one of the biggest questions also that was asked, or that was said, and I showed y'all a comment. Why come all that way to kill her folks? Unless, again, he was an undercover serial killer. I don't know. He could have been. He could have been an undercover serial killer. I don't know. But that's a big question that's sticking in my head too. You came all that way just to kill her folks? Okay? All right. Let me see. Excuse me. All right, somebody send me this. Oh, this it.
We had in our lives together.
Sweet. This it. Okay. All right, guys.
Good morning, and thank you for.
Let me see how bad this thing over here dropping, because I want to hear this. I want to hear this. So let me see how bad this thing acting up over here. Yeah, it's still acting up bad, man.
Everyone for being here today. My family and I truly appreciate the love and the compassion that we have received thus far in this trying time. To our neighbors, our friends, and our family members, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the outpouring of well wishes. We have heard all of you, and we appreciate you more than you will ever know. Nobody could imagine this crime happening to my family, to our family, especially it just being one day after Thanksgiving. It was just a few days ago that we all celebrated together that Thanksgiving of blessing and gratefulness. And we recounted many of those blessings that we had in our lives together on that day. We had a family debate, and it got heated on if the brownies my mom made should be frosted with sprinkles or just left plain. It seemed silly at the time, but that's a conversation and a debate that will forever resonate in my heart. Little did I know on that day that would be the last time that my husband and I would see my parents and my sister again. The next day, while we were out buying Christmas lights for our home, I received a phone call from my parents' neighbor of 22 years. They were best friends. They looked out for each other. She called to tell us that we needed to get there as soon as we could because my parents' house was on fire. This is the home that my sister and I grew up in since we were little. I couldn't get there fast enough. We left everything in the shopping cart at the store and took off. When I had arrived at my house, we had learned that something more tragic had happened. In a time where communities are afraid to report strange sightings, the loving neighbors on my parents' street saw an unfamiliar car, and they immediately reported it to authorities. Ultimately, this is our...
Sarah, this her auntie. That's not her. I thought it was her too, but this her auntie. This not her. It's her auntie.
Our community, and we need to look out and care for one another.
As a matter of fact, let me change my title.
Making that call from that neighbor saved my niece's life, and that neighbor is a hero in our eyes. If something like this horrific tragedy can happen here, in our neighborhood, in our community, it can happen anywhere. Sadly, we were too late to save my dad, Mark, my mom, Sherry, and my youngest sister, Brooke, from that vicious crime. They are forever in my heart, and I miss them deeply. In this tragic moment of our family, our grief, we hope some good will come from this. Parents, please, please know your child's online activity. Ask questions about what they are doing and whom they are talking to. Anybody can say they're someone else. and you could be in this situation, which I do not want for the world. This horrific event started with an inappropriate online romance between a predator and a child. We have some solace that this person will never harm anyone again, especially a minor. But we also want to make it very clear that we do not applaud his death. This was an adult that traveled across the country to kidnap a 15-year-old girl, my niece, our family member, with the idea to kidnap her and kill and devastate our family. He took an oath to protect, and yet he failed to do so. Instead, he preyed on the most vulnerable. When you hear the term catfishing, you think of a long-running dating show or series about a national sports figure, both glamorizing and sensationalizing online relationships. However, in this instance, catfishing led to the deaths of the three most important people in my life: my dad, my mom, and my sister. Please, parents, guardians, when you are talking to your children about the dangers of their online actions, please use us as a reference. Tell our story to help your parenting. Not out of fear, but out of example of something that did happen. My sister Brooke was a loving single mom who did her best to raise her two teenage daughters in a loving way. She supported them in their school endeavors and enjoyed watching color guard performances and choir concerts for both of her children. My sister was an avid collector of the famous Starbucks tumblers. Every release day, I would get a text at 4 a.m. from her, wondering why I wasn't waiting in line with her to pick up the newest release. My dad, Mark, the silly old man that I always referenced him to be, was a soft-spoken and humble man who would go out of his way to help a friend or stranger in need. He was known on their street as the one to depend on if anyone needed anything. In 1993, his love for coaching high school athletes began at La Sierra High School, where I had the privilege and the honor of not only calling him dad, but also coach, as he coached all 4 years of my soccer team. He continued coaching high school sports at many schools in Riverside County and ultimately found his home at Arlington High School, coaching the softball and the baseball teams. He was a man with a big and caring heart who unselfishly gave to his student athletes. My mom, Sherry, the matriarch of our family, with the biggest giving heart imaginable, did anything and everything for everyone and never needed or wanted anything in return. She loved my sister and I, along with her 4 granddaughters, with every ounce of her being. She enjoyed baking with us, and the highlight of the year was baking and decorating Christmas cookies. And that is a tradition that I will carry on as we go forward. My mom always said that God puts people into your life for a reason. And in this time of tragedy, He has done just that. He has brought so many great people into our lives and to help us navigate through this terrible ordeal. We are so amazed and overwhelmed and grateful for the amount of affection and support from friends and strangers. Without this assistance, we would be lost. My husband and I are very grateful to everyone who has reached out. We are just ordinary people living with an extraordinary circumstance. There are no words for the gratitude we feel for the outpouring of support that we have received, and I know that we will continue to receive. For my 2 young nieces who are now left motherless,
2 nieces.
we hope that this community can wrap your arms around them and lift them up. They have the most difficult journey ahead, as they are minors and they don't understand everything that has happened. We hope and we ask that this community continue to shelter them, protect them, and wrap them in their arms and continue to lift them up. Please positively support them. We have started a GoFundMe page in honor of my parents and my sister, Winnick Family Fund, in which it will be used to help my nieces, my sister's 2 children, live their best life and start a college savings. Thank you to those that have already donated and to those that will. We are eternally grateful. Thank you for giving up your time this morning to be here and to support us and honor the lives of my mom, my dad, and my sister. They lived and loved selflessly. And in the words of my favorite New Kids on the Block boy bander, Donnie Wahlberg, spread love and love will spread. Thank you.
I'd now like to bring up Allison Soros, a close friend and advocate for the family, to make a few comments.
Good morning, everyone. The number of you here is a testament to those parents, those teachers, law enforcement that are all concerned about what transpired that gave rise to this press conference today. My name is Allison Soros, and as I was introduced, I'm here as a friend, a longtime family friend of the Winnick family. I'm here as a parent, and I'm also here not as their attorney, but I am an attorney. And I'm here because I spent over 15 years as an LA County Deputy District Attorney before leaving the DA's office to kind of shift gears and pursue working with teenagers in the mental health space. I became a licensed counselor, and I worked as a school counselor in the schools for several years before leaving and going into private practice, where I focus on young adults and teens and mental health and criminal cases that involve mental health related issues. And so when this happened, I jumped in to just help negotiate the system. I'm here voluntarily to just do what I can, as all of you are, to help get this family through this horrible, horrific situation. To get here, it took a lot of work on behalf, as all of you know. Not only has the Riverside police department gone out of their way, the compassion, the expertise, the dedication that every single member of law enforcement and this agency has shown is unparalleled. And that's coming from someone who has worked with law enforcement agencies for years. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and the California Highway Patrol are to thank for what transpired here. The Riverside Fire Department, the San Bernardino County Fire Department are here and need to be thanked for what, for their involvement today. And the other agency that I believe is here today is the Riverside District Attorney's Office. And as a former Deputy District Attorney, victims of crime is one area that really is emphasized and needs to be addressed from a global perspective. In this situation, the Riverside DA's office did something that you don't really see very often. When there is a crime and it gets referred to the DA for a filing because someone is prosecuted, the District Attorney's Office Victims of Crime steps in order to provide support and resources for those victims of crime. But when there is not a filing, oftentimes it gets missed because law enforcement is not the one handling the victims of crime. And so you have someone who commits a crime, let's say a murder-suicide, and now there's no one to prosecute. Oftentimes we have victims that are left without support or just knowing where to go for support, not because of any malintent, just because of a difference in agencies handling that. I have a client who was the victim of a home invasion robbery when he was in his early 20s, and he was pistol whipped and left for dead and transported to the hospital where he remained in a coma for several months. Afterwards, as you can imagine, he suffered physical issues but also mental health issues that led him into my office as a client. When he came to me, I asked him if he had received services and help, and he said, no, they never apprehended a suspect. So no one helped him get the support he needed as a victim. Riverside DA's office in this particular case took it upon themselves to independently reach out to Shelley in this case to offer services and support. They did it immediately Monday morning, first thing when their doors opened. When the handling advocate was not available because she was off that day, they had who handles the homicide cases. She handed it off to somebody else who immediately called me. We spoke on the phone, and we have already put in place supports for trauma counseling, for assistance with funeral expenses. So to the DA's office, thank you. I know many of you as members of the press are here today in order to help understand what happened last week. And I'm not here to answer those questions. The investigation is ongoing. But I think the question we all need to ask ourselves isn't what happened that day or the next day, but why? And what can we do as parents, as community members, as educators, as law enforcement, in order to make a difference, to raise awareness for what's going on? Tangentially, I work in conjunction with a nonprofit called I Can Help. It's an organization that was started by a school teacher that helps promote social media safety. For instance, the director explained to me this morning that Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram all have access to put parental controls on their phones. And this organization helps educate school resource officers and administrators in helping students have these conversations, so that if a student knows that their friend is engaging in conversation with people online that they shouldn't be, they're not afraid to say something, they know where to go and what to do. I know the family is really concerned about this issue, and they are happy to further engage in conversations about this. But at this time, they have a lot of work that needs to be done to bury their family members. And so we ask all of you for privacy while they get through the next couple of weeks so that they can regroup and then help share their story in doing so. I'm here to answer questions with regard to the family. So after we finish, after you hear from the chief, then I will stick around if anyone has any questions that I can answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. I'd now like to have come up Riverside Police Chief Larry Gonzalez to make a few comments.
Good morning, everybody. Larry Gonzalez, Police Chief here in Riverside. I'll be brief. Most of this was covered wonderfully by Michelle and Allison on some of the things I was going to talk about. But I first of all want to say, on behalf of the entire Riverside Police Department and the entire Riverside community, that our hearts go out to the Winnick family during this time of tremendous grief. And like I said, it's really a tragedy for all of us. Early on in this investigation, our detectives learned that the suspect was, in fact, a law enforcement officer out of the state of Virginia, where he, you heard before, traveled all the way from Virginia to commit this heinous crimes. And just to kind of let you know, when these type of investigations are ongoing, you've heard this a lot from us, that it's still ongoing, it's going to be lengthy. Similar to physical crime scenes like we have at the home, detectives also have a digital crime scene to investigate and comb through evidence that could help us learn more of the details about this online relationship that you heard earlier about, and maybe possibly what some of the intentions he may have had. This is still a very active and extensive investigation that will take time to continue to unravel. We believe the suspect, as you heard before, was engaging on an online enticement called catfishing. It appears that the suspect met the victim online through a common form of enticement called catfishing, where we believe he portrayed himself as a teenager to develop an online relationship with her. Excuse me. This is a broad category of online exploitation that includes sextortion, in which a child is being groomed to take sexually explicit images and or ultimately meet face-to-face with someone for sexual purposes, or to engage in a sexual conversation online, or in some instances sell or trade the child's sexual images. This type of victimization takes place across every platform: social media, messaging apps, gaming platforms, etc. Some of the most common tactics that are used to entice children are engaging in a sexual conversation or role-playing as a grooming method, asking a child for sexually explicit images of themselves or mutually sharing images, develop a rapport through compliments, discussing shared interests or liking their online posts. This is also known as grooming, or sending or offering sexually explicit images of themselves, and also pretending to be younger, which appears to be the case in this investigation. Also offering an incentive, such as a gift card, alcohol, drugs, lodging, transportation, or food. Most importantly, this is yet another horrific reminder of the predators existing online who prey on our children. If you've already had this conversation with...
I want to speak on that real quick, what he said, because when I was going to school back in my time, and guys, I saw that it knocked me offline earlier. Don't worry, because as soon as I get through with this, I'm going to repost it so y'all can see everything without the hiccups or whatnot. When I was going to school in my time, I used to always hear these hot-ass, fast-ass girls in my school always talking about these dudes who's grown and out of school, and how they was fucking with them because they had cars. They was able to do this for them. They was able to do that for them, this, then, and third. And I'm glad he brought that up, because the girls back in my school days, them motherfuckers was wild. They was. They hot in the ass, like my grandma used to say. Hot. I don't know if you can call a female mannish, but if you can, they was mannish, along with the knuckleheads, you know what I'm saying, when I hung out with. They was all that. And it was just out of control. It was out of control. And a lot of them weren't even out of school yet, walking around stomach big because they pregnant, because they fucking all over the place and carrying on. You know, it was just a hot mess when I was going to school back in my era, all right? And they was doing this stuff, what he's speaking about right now. It was a hot mess, and it was a motherfucking ridiculous. It was. They just brought flashbacks. I know you see them hot ass girls and be bragging on it and proud to speak on it too. And then it makes you wonder, like, damn, what do your folks do? Do they say anything to you, or they just allow this to happen? Which a lot of them say that they folks allow this shit to happen because I guess they folks would get something out the deal too. I guess, you know, let's just say for one instance, if the whole family ain't got a damn car. So if she fucking with this dude that got a car, what's gonna happen? They're gonna use him for their car. Every time he come over, can you take me here? Can you take me there? Can you take me here? Can you take me there? I'm like, hold up, man. I came here for your daughter. I'd come for the whole damn family. But I guess to keep things in a good grace, you know what I'm saying? That he would not have a problem with doing all this stuff, you know? So it's just crazy how it was in my school days. You know, I don't know about y'all, but in my school days, them high school girls was insane. Insane. Not to mention a lot of them was fucking the coaches up there.
Your kids on how to be safe online and on social media, please have it again. If not, start it now to better protect them. I don't have anything else, and I think we'll be around. We'll have Ryan come up for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, we'll open it up for questions. We have our Chief, we have Allison, and for any questions specific, not to this case, but online enticement, I also have Detective Rob Olson from the District Attorney's Riverside County Child Exploitation Team. And for
Okay, guys, I'm going to end it right there because this thing just acting too awful, but we get the gist of everything that's going on, and as a matter of fact, I will get this link and put it in there for y'all where y'all can go watch the whole thing yourself. And I appreciate you for sending me that. Damn, where did you send me that at? Is this it? Yeah, they go to the link right there. Y'all can go catch the rest of it yourself. But we get the gist of what's going on here. Again, tragic for the most part. All right, tragic for the most part. Excuse me. Tragic for the most part. Again, I hate this happened to her family. You know, one of the wildest stories I done covered. You know, this is wild, you know. But I'm telling y'all, man, you know, if this don't wake a lot of us up, then I don't know what will. All right? If this don't wake a lot of us up, I don't know what will. Ladies and gentlemen, we can put parental restrictions on the internet. So please use it. Please use it. Okay? Should no youngin, in my opinion, and I've been saying this for the longest, should no youngin be having on social media, or let me say they shouldn't be focusing on social media right now. All right? They shouldn't be. But ever since this internet shit done came out and all these apps and shit coming out, man, these teenagers going crazy with this shit. Every new app that comes out, you want to find out about a new app? Ask one of these teenagers. They can tell you everything about it from top to bottom. Everything. How you know so much about this? Well, I be on it all the time. I bet you do. I just bet you do. Okay? But anyway, guys, I'm getting on out of here. And, hey, just stay tuned, you know. But they go to the link if y'all want to go watch the rest of that conference or whatnot. Your man, Chris Storms, thank you for listening. Peace out.